Hello and welcome back to PowerWash Simulator. When we last left off, we were dealing with this ship right here. And unfortunately, we are still missing that's the port side. That doesn't take care of the starboard side. Let's see if we can't see it from up here. Yeah, so far I don't see. Yeah, I don't see. Oop, uh-oh. I think that might be it right there. There we go. Yeah. Okay. So that's the hull taken care of. And I think there might... Yeah. Sounds like there might be a cat up here somewhere. Okay. So let's finish cleaning the chain. Well, chain from out here. And we'll continue on up the ship. I wanted to get a little bit more recording done today, despite the fact that I hit my 2-episode quota, because I only did 1 episode last week, and I do try to stay pretty consistent. Well, no, I didn't do 1 episode last week. I did 1 episode last Monday. I did get more done than that. Otherwise, I wouldn't have what I have. Nope. And for the most part, I'm fine with what I've got. But I figured, what's one more? I'm not doing anything. Despite the fact that I should probably be doing some training. Well, that's neither here nor there. So, pretend you didn't hear that. And instead, let's make our way to the Pelican. I was going to call it the Obra Den, I'm not going to lie. Let's start on this end, shall we? Mind the gap. I think I figured out how many episodes I have left, but I'm not gonna say, oh yeah, it's definitively this. I also started to sit down and figure out my game situation, and as it turns out, I have entirely too many games. A lot of them are indie. I bought some itch.io bundles a while back. Um, and there, I'm currently going through a 43-page list of all of the games, mind, in one bundle that I have. And there's some duplication, of course. I knew there would be. Just wasn't sure how much. And so far, it doesn't look like it's a ton. Which is good. But we're not going to do that. What we're going to do now is we're going to clean this up. But yeah, I was expecting duplication, because I know I've got a couple games on itch.io and their launcher that that I've got in other places. Like I've got Dishonored and Dishonored 2 and Death of the Outsider. I also have Dishonored, the first game, on Epic. But I purchased it first, I think, on Steam. And despite the fact that of all of the platforms, Steam is the one I've had the longest, it is the one I have seemingly the least amount of games on. I did do quite a lot of pulling games when I was still paying for Prime, but I'm not paying for it anymore, and thus no longer have access to them. And besides, I didn't always like the games that there's also a ton of the games that I've just never played. And admittedly, part of the issue is I'm afraid that I'm not going to like a game, so I will often retreat to games that I know. I'm sure other people do that too, but and as a result, I almost never play anything new because it's comfortable to play games, you know. Back up there. But yeah, I still have a bunch of games to go through. I know some of the bundles that I bought are assets. Or some of the bits of the bundles that I bought are assets. Which is fine. I'm perfectly fine with that. Uh, let's. Oh, I hate it when it's like this. Full tight quarters nonsense. There we go. That's the winch. I'm not gonna be able to get all of that in one go, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna clean the base and go up as we go up. But yeah, you know, I do have plenty of games that I can play should a strike come to pass. I will be a-okay. And so will the channel, because I actually have a lot of indie games. I have way more indie games than I thought I did. I'll clean that in a minute. We're gonna have to go up at a certain point anyway. So we'll just up till here. Though I will admit that I am actually kind of glad that it forcing me to sit down and figure out what I do have. That's always really helpful. Because again, I have way more games than I thought I did. I knew I had a lot, but like, I don't even have an account at this point. And I'm actually kind of terrified to sit down and count. Mostly because I feel like I'm going to be there half the week if I do that. There we go. But more than anything, I'm gonna have to, like, buckle down and actually do a full list. And I want to get it done by the end of this week, honestly. I don't know how much of tomorrow I'm gonna be able to use. Okay, got the catch box. We'll start up here. I figure if I get a couple pages... I just thought about it. I have 3 separate bundles, I think, that I'm gonna have to count, and then I'm gonna have to go through and make sure that the games that are on there aren't just TTRPGs. There we go. Because I do have a pack, I believe, that is just TTRPGs. There we go. And that's fine and all, but, I also have, I think, one that's predominantly, resources for game making. So I'm gonna have to sort that out. Unfortunately, the way itch deals with bundles is they hide the games in the bundle from your account until you download them all. Until you download them, and that's helpful, but not really. I would like an accurate summation of the games that I own. That would make life a million times easier. Because I wouldn't have to sit down and figure out, okay, do I have everything or is stuff missing? And if stuff is missing, from where is it missing? But you know, I'll sort it out. I do have to clean the rest of that anchor, though. I want to get that. I'll go around the cabin and then we'll do that. I'm also going to have to, I think, go through and mark all of the games that would be technically considered struck if they were to strike. I don't know. There we go. There we go. Come on. There we go. So we're just gonna straight up say nothing I got out of Epic would be safe to use. Which incidentally enough means that well, I said I wasn't gonna play Final Fantasy VII for the channel anyway. I said I didn't want to really do another role-playing game either. Um, because I don't mind. I like role-playing games, but the behind-the-scenes work is tedious on a good day. Like, and I kind of don't want to deal with that again. So this may be a straight up declaration of there will be no TTRP, there will be no RPGs on the channel anymore. Which is a little sad, but, you know. Okay, what else? There. Up here. There we go. Of course, we have to finish the cabin. There. That's the wall, not the cabin itself. Mhm. Yeah, okay. Oh, now what? Is that not all? Am I missing something? Yeah, that gets annoying. That's considered trim. This is the annoying part. Having to go back over everything. Because you're missing a speck of dirt. And I do apologize if you can hear my neighbors. They are a little louder than they normally are this time of the day. Which is their right, you know, like, I'm not mad that they're making noise. Like, I think it would be really silly to be upset over your neighbors making noise like that. Let's try. Okay. Okay. That is exactly what it was. Let's finish the anchor chain and the I've said it before and I'll say it again. The hitboxes on some of this stuff is really weird. I'm gonna say it, and I know I sound like a broken record, but the them being this kind of fussy is irritating. Okay. There we go. That's the windlass. That's the anchor pipe. Now we finish the anchor chain. And of course, we gotta hit this from multiple angles. There we go. In that. In that. I am aware that these are arbitrary things to clean this early, but there we go. There we go. And that's all of them. Now we can move on to the bridge. We'll get the deck last, I think. Oh, you know what? I have been going this whole time, and I never asked the question of the day. So, the question of the day is, what is your favorite bit of mythology? I am quite partial to, quite a lot, actually. I like mythology, and I like reading about Greek mythology because it's so very, You see, in the deep ocean, the speed of a gravity wave is directly proportionate to the square root of its wavelength. Okay. However, nonlinear effects can also cause the energy of smaller waves to bounce and consolidate into one huge wave. That sounds bad. I don't know, the whole thing beats me. I I got nothing for you, dude. But I like reading about Greek mythology. Not necessarily because I like Greek mythology, but because of how decidedly screwed up it is. Especially if you consider the fact that so much of Greek mythology can be summed up with, unfortunately, Zeus was horny. Um, like, how many of the gods actually exist because Zeus decided, ooh, that one's cute? I mean, there's the whole deal of him turning into a swan to, to like, flirt with a woman, or, um, have his way with a woman, is probably way more accurate. Um, because Zeus is gonna Zeus. And if it's not unfortunately Zeus was horny, it's probably something else equally disturbing. Uh, let's see. Go back to 15. I can't tell you exactly how much of mythology is the gods are vindictive, and now it's your problem. So much mythology can be summed up with the gods are vindictive, and now it's your problem. And I don't know how to feel about any of that. There we go. To I'm gonna clean the deck bridge, the bridge deck. But yeah, like, what is your favorite bit of mythology? What's your favorite mythology to pick up and read about? I know there are a lot of people who got into like Greek mythology because of uh the Percy Jackson series. Um, I have not actually read the Percy Jackson series. I think it started coming out around the time I was. Uh, I think the first book started coming out when I was an adult, so they kind of missed me as far as um, target demographics go. There we go. It isn't to say that I wouldn't go back and read them. I've considered going back and reading some of the stuff that I missed as a kid. Because there's quite a lot. Like, growing up in the 90s and into the aughts means I actually missed a fair amount of stuff that I would have been a target demographic for. I did read a disturbing amount of vampire books, though. I think I hit that vampire phase when I was like 11. And as a result, yeah. But Twilight was not out when I was in. when I was going through my vampire phase. I don't think I'd ever read that, though. Not my cup of tea. That isn't to say I don't like vampires anymore, though I am quite partial to werewolves. There we go. Clean this bit here. Would be nice to have, like, a ladder. But I guess that's too much to ask for. I am also thinking, like, I also really like um, Egyptian mythology quite a bit. There is, and you saw it in, I think, Moon Knight. Or maybe it wasn't Moon Knight. I don't know. I've actually not seen Moon Knight. Judge me however you want to, but I don't watch a ton of TV. I don't have the ability to focus long enough. Um, but I think it was Moon Knight where or maybe it was American Gods. Haven't watched that either. I've read the book though. Um, yeah, I think it was American Gods because somebody was talking about it recently about the how pretty accurate the portrayal of Anubis was. Um, and I actually really like Anubis, like, of the psychopomps. He is one that I really like. Couldn't tell you why. I just think he's a fascinating character. I actually think psychopomps in general are. Because it's like, you have this being whose sole job it is to collect the souls of the dead, or collect the dead, as it were. And there's no judgment, there's no, like, personal judgment, there's no personal bias. It's just, my job, right here, right now, is to collect you. That's all. I don't make any judgments, I don't, like, do anything like that. All of that's already been decided. Or, all of that is technically out of my hands. I can't skew the results. I'm just here to bring you to the afterlife, whatever afterlife you have. And I think that's really neat. But Anubis is interesting in that the way he works is like he has this feather and he has a creature. And I'm not sure if Amit is technically considered to be a demon or if she's supposed to be something else, but she is part crocodile, part hippo, part lion, which is three of the deadliest animals in Africa. And her whole job is to eat the hearts of the unjust, of the wicked. Like, that's her whole thing. If your heart is heavier than Ma'at's feather, then your soul's essentially destroyed. You're eaten by a myth, and your heart is eaten by a myth, and that's it. But I've also seen like art of her as a woman because I do believe she appears as a woman occasionally. Not usually, but occasionally. Her animal form, as it were, is her primary appearance. There we go. Okay. There's also like the other gods, like Set and Ra, and but nobody's nearly as interesting to me as Anubis. Though Thoth, Thoth is interesting. Like whole his whole job is knowledge. I like that. It's a dude with the head of an ibis, hanging out, collecting and cataloging knowledge. I may be misremembering that. I haven't sat down and actively read it. Actually, I have to go back up here for this. I want to make sure that I get enough of that. And let's come back down. And we can get more of this. I'm gonna have to go back up, of course, up on the, so we can actually get more of that. First, now it has me thinking of the similarities between mythologies, and how Roman mythology is pretty much just Greek mythology with the serial numbers filed off. Because if you think about it, like, Jupiter is Zeus, Mars is Ares, Venus is Aphrodite, which is, if I'm remembering, which is the proper Greek pronunciation of her name. This isn't one of those, her name's Aphrodite. No, it's just the pronunciation in Greek. Not getting up there. Okay. Yeah, here is where a ladder would be great. Yeah, man. There we go. Okay. Yeah, man. There we go. Go. Come on. You. Okay, so what of the bridge am I missing? What of the bridge am I missing? What am I missing? Can't be that. Uh, okay, I think that was it. Yeah, okay. Uh, switch back there and clean that. And I promise that that wasn't meant to be hoity-toity. So let's grab you. Uh, but yeah, mythology is great. I like mythology. And seeing, I even like really like mythology in fictional settings. Not like real world mythology in fictional settings. That's neat, but like not entirely my cup of tea. Um, no, my cup of tea is extensive mythology in worlds created by the author. Uh, there we go. Let's go up the stairs. I think I need to get that thing. Yeah, okay. Oh, you're gonna be a pain. But yeah, I like seeing the mythology of fictional worlds. I like seeing what authors consider and don't consider important. Airhead, airhead, the railing, wall. Okay. A really neat bit of world building is if you've ever read any of N.K. Jemison's work, if her world building is fantastic, and if you haven't, do yourself the favor and read her work. If it's not your cup of tea, that's cool, but give her a try. She's got some really great work out there. And I believe one of her series got optioned for um for a show. Is there? Let's clean this. I don't know what the status of any of that is. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to really keep up with it. But, uh, hopefully, they do something with it, and they do something cool with it. I think I'd be pretty bummed if they didn't. But yeah, if you want some really interesting mythology in fictional settings, check out N.K. Jemison's work. just like, even if you're not there for the mythology, like I am, check her stuff out anyway. I think folks would be really excited to see what she has to write. But let's take on the mast. And that thing. Fully armed. So we're definitely gonna have to go up. Yeah. I think best spot for this now is here. Oh, uh-oh. I think that's fine. I think I should be able to go get it. Now let's see what I'm missing on it. I think I have to go up. Come over. Oh. I don't think I noticed that. More me not noticing things. There we go. Let's switch back to Ubby for the time being. Let's see if I can't make my way onto the pulley. Come on. Come on. Okay. There we go. Let's get down. Let's make our way back up and see if we can't get the rest of the mast. Let's go with the extra. Go with the long arm. I have to go from the other side too. There we go. So we got practically all of the structures. And now what we're doing is the gunwale, the deck walls, and the deck itself. Plus any little, like, dividers. And I don't think I'm gonna be able to finish in a reasonable amount of time. But I'm going to get as much done in the next, say, 6 minutes as possible. And then we'll call it good from there. Actually, speaking of literature, I'm actually about the next books on my to read list. There we go. Those dividers are actually really helpful. Right now I'm trying to remember what I borrowed to read. One of them is, I believe I borrowed Hood Feminism by Mickey Kindle, which is, I started reading it, like, I actually technically own a copy, but it's a digital copy, and like, the service that I was using went belly up, and I don't think I have access to it anymore. Also, extra reason to not buy, if you have the ability to buy DRM free stuff. That way you can always read it, it's always available, and you don't, just want to know where that amazing smell was coming from. I won't forget it as long as I live. Okay. Looks like these cats at the marina have caught a whiff of it too. Yeah, probably. It's a lot of cats. I don't know, I don't remember off the top of my head what the other book I pulled was. But if you're interested in intersectional feminism, I do recommend reading Mickey Kindle's Hood Feminism. It is definitely worth it if you're, sans the funds. I do recommend borrowing it from your local library then. There you go. Which is immediately something you should be considering anyway. Support your local library. There we go. Got that. I think we can get more of the gun whale clean. Can we get that? There we go. So as much as I hate it, I know I'm going to have to finish up the rest of this in the next video. And then we can start on the deck proper and get all of the little fiddly bits. I actually should probably figure out what fiddly bits I need to go after and tackle those before I can do the deck. Come on. There we go. Let's do a tiny bit more. There we go. Let's see if we can't get this gun whale clean. But yeah, support your local library. Borrow books. If you have the means to, donate them. The library has overwhelmingly become incredibly important as of late, especially with, the book bans that are happening all over the place. It is deeply important to be supporting your local library right now. Push to make sure that funding stays put. Borrow books, borrow movies. I know the library system that I live in, it's a county system. Um, that system, actually, when you take books out in a library, it will tell you how much money you saved, yeah, compared to buying the materials out of pocket. And some of these books are really expensive, especially if you're looking at like textbooks. Textbooks are absurdly priced. I remember somebody saying, as a professor, they didn't feel it appropriate to require their students to buy their textbook because it was their textbook. They wrote it. But we're gonna have to put a stop in it right there. So, as a reminder of the question of the day, which we got into pretty late, what is your favorite bit of mythology? And that's where we're going to call it. So I have been Dorknot, this has been PowerWash Simulator, and when we come back, we are going to finish the fishing boat. And if you enjoyed this video, or any of the videos in the series, or any of the videos I've ever done, please consider leaving a like on this video, and subscribing to the channel, which helps metrics and helps push things out so you and other people see it, and consider hitting the notification bell so you'll know when I upload, even if it is really regularly. You can also find me at coffee.com/dorkanaut. If you are so inclined to leave a tip, but please do not feel obligated, that is coffee.com/dorkanaut, ko-fi.com/dorkanaut. Um, but yeah, come see me again sometime, won't you? Goodbye.